tale of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. One winter's day, when the snow was falling, a beautiful queen sat sewing by a window. And while she looked at it, she accidentally pricked her finger with the needle. When she saw the drop of blood, she thought to herself, how wonderful it would be if I could have a little girl whose skin was as white as the snow out there, her hair as black as the raven, and her lips as red as this drop of blood. Not long afterwards, the queen had a baby daughter, jet black hair, snowy white skin, and red lips, called her Snow White. Snow White grew up to be a pretty child, but sadly, after a few years, her mother died and her father married again.
May the heavens bless this sacred union and grant prosperity to the royal couple. By the authority vested in me, I now pronounce you king and queen. May your union bless this kingdom.
The queen had a magical mirror. Every day she would ask it,
Mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
I am the mirror of Garon. I hold the answers you seek.
And the mirror would always answer, you, my queen, are the fairest of them all. One day, when the queen asked her mirror, it replied, Snow White is the fairest of them all. The queen was furious. She called the royal huntsman and ordered, take Snow White deep into the forest and never bring her back.
Take the dagger, huntsman. Bring me her heart.
But I cannot.
The huntsman led Snow White far into the woods, but when he looked into her kind, gentle eyes,
follow this path.
He could not do her harm.
It will lead you to the edge of the woods by nightfall. Be careful.
Run away, he whispered, and never return to the castle. The queen must never find you. Snow White ran through the forest, dodging trees and stumbling over roots. She was frightened and alone. Just as the sun began to set, she found a tiny cottage hidden among the trees. She stepped inside and saw 7 little chairs, 7 little bowls, and 7 tiny beds. Tired from running, she lay down across the beds and soon fell fast asleep.
Ho! March along, the day is done. We swing our picks and sing our song to hearth and hall in the gold, down in the deep where the story's told, marching along till the day is done.
They were 7 dwarfs who worked in the mountains digging for gems. When they saw Snow White, they gathered around.
Look there, lads. She's waking.
Aye, truly wonderful.
Oh, where am I? You're safe now, princess. Welcome to our home.
She stayed with the dwarfs, helping with chores and making the cottage feel like home. They became like a family. But far away in her castle, the queen once again asked, Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
I am the mirror of Garon. I hold the answers.
And the mirror
you seek.
replied, Snow White, who lives with the 7 dwarfs, is the fairest of them all. The queen was enraged. Using dark magic, she disguised herself as an old woman's cell combs.
A thing of beauty, isn't it, child? Such a beautiful comb for such a beautiful girl. Oh, it's wonderful.
The comb is poisoned. After Snow White to comb hair, and suddenly her eyes closed, and she fell to the floor. When the dwarfs returned home, they found Snow White lying still and silent, and had to use a
Here,
magic
Princess,
potion to give
drink
her an
this now.
antidote.
She is waking. Look!
I feel so weak. What happened? My queen.
The queen
The
once again
fairest in the
asked,
land is no
and the
longer
mirror
you, but
replied,
Snow White. No,
Snow
it
White
cannot be.
is the fairest
I
of
am
them
the
all.
fairest.
The queen was enraged. Using dark magic, she disguised herself as an old woman. She made a shiny red
poisoned
apple
for
and
the
filled it with a
fairest.
terrible sleeping
One
spell.
bite, and her reign is over.
Dressed in her disguise, the queen travelled to the cottage and knocked on the door. "Hello, dear," she said sweetly. "Would you like to try a special apple? It's the sweetest one you'll ever taste."
Pretty, all your dreams will come true.
A wishing apple.
Snow White hesitated, but the woman seemed harmless, and the apple looked delicious. She took one small bite, and suddenly her eyes closed, and she fell to the floor. When the dwarfs returned home, they found Snow White lying still and silent. They cried and tried everything, but she would not wake up. They gently laid her in a glass case filled with soft flowers and placed it deep in the forest. They stayed near her, always hoping she would wake. One day, a prince rode through the woods and saw her. He had heard of her kindness and beauty. When he saw her face, his heart filled with sadness. The prince, requesting their permission to transport the exquisite glass coffin back to his father's castle. Though their hearts were heavy with grief, the dwarf sensed his sincerity and eventually
Good
agreed
sirs,
to let her go.
I know not what enchantment holds her, but I must try to save her. Grant me this chance.
As the prince's loyal soldiers hoisted the heavy casket onto their shoulders, suddenly, one of the guards stumbled over a jagged rock hidden beneath the fallen leaves,
You are
causing the
safe
coffin to
now,
lurch
Princess.
violently.
We thought we
The
lost
sudden,
you.
sharp jolt dislodged the piece of poisoned apple
It's
that
a
had remained
miracle.
trapped in Snow White's
We
throat
thought we
for so
lost
long.
her.
She's alive.
Suddenly,
It's a
Snow White's
miracle.
eyes fluttered
Don't
open.
worry, princess.
The spell
You're safe
was
now.
broken.
I
The
finally
dwarfs
found
jumped
you.
and cheered.
Are you
Snow
all
White
right?
smiled at them,
Yes.
then at the
thanks
prince.
to my wonderful friends.
As for the evil queen, when she learned that Snow White still lived, her anger grew so hot that it shattered her magic forever. She vanished, never to return. Snow White hugged each of the dwarfs. "I'll never forget you," she said with happy tears.
I am so very happy to see you all.
Welcome.
We are honored, princess. Oh, I missed you all so much. Welcome to the palace.
It's good to see you, lass. We are very proud.
Snow White and the prince celebrated their union with a magnificent wedding ceremony held at the heart of the royal palace. It was a grand, joyous occasion filled with music and laughter, marking the beginning of their new life together as the entire nation celebrating their enduring love. And so, Snow White lived happily ever after, always.